Assalamu alaikum. Alaikum salam, Brother Sami. Sister Erica. Alaikum salam. Alaikum salam, Brother Muhammad Naufal. It's good to see you again. Alaikum salam, Shana Hussein. Alaikum salam, Abid. Brother Shihan, Sister Navida. Alaikum salam. Alaikum salam, Sister Hasina and family. Alaikum salam, Sister Nazia. Brother Waleed. Oh my God, you guys are going so fast. I gotta scroll through these. Brother Fayaz, Ramiz, Faraz, Brother Saqib, Brother Fawad, Fayaz, did I say salam? I think I did. You got me twice, man. Alaikum salam, Sister Syra. Once again, guys, as we always do, please take a moment, share your salams with each other, share your salams with with me, if you don't mind. Muntaha and Sharif and Sister Shazia, Ammar, Faizan, MashaAllah, so many folks jumping in with the salams. Last time I asked, I think it was like, where are you guys tuning in from? And I saw some folks from Texas, which, MashaAllah, made me really happy. And some folks from the East Coast, and then some folks from Vietnam, which was really incredible. So maybe you want to share if you're tuning in from somewhere unique or distant. I mean, we're all the way here in Sacramento, California. If you're tuning in from some other corner of the earth, please let us know. We'd love to send our greetings your way to the folks over there. Bismillah. Once again, Jazakallah khair. Assalamu alaikum, everybody. Alaikum salam to all of you. Thank you again for tuning in for another night of messages from the divine. This series that we've been embarking upon, this journey really, seeking to find those reminders from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that were so personal and intimate for us, reminders of things that maybe we did not even realize we needed to be reminded of. So thank you for tuning in again. We're almost towards the end. And as you guys settle down, I want to ask all of you to please help us out by doing a couple things. Number one, please go ahead and share the feed. Even if you feel like the people who are watching, by sharing it, it actually helps the algorithms, Facebook and YouTube and whatever, they look upon that favorably. And so we want to share it as much as we can. So please take a moment and share it. And if you're watching on YouTube, for example, you can share it in WhatsApp or share it on your family feeds or threads. Share it to friends. Share it to your boss who has really been annoying you lately. I don't know. Share it to anybody and everybody who you think might benefit. And of course, I wish I could respond to all of your salams. I respond to all of you collectively. Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless each and every one of you and always bring you peace. It's a couple minutes in now, so I think we'll begin. I just see a comment that says, I made a cave at my house so no one distracts me. MashaAllah. You're following the sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ in going to the cave of Hira by bringing the cave to your house, like Ramadan came to our house. Pretty cool idea. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم تسليما كثيرا. I begin in the name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I invoke his peace and blessings upon our beloved Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to extend that peace and those blessings to his family members, his companions, his loved ones, his followers, and I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that he would make each and every one of us among them. Allahumma ameen. Once again, my dear respected brothers and sisters, my beloved youth and Elders, I greet you with the greeting of Islam. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. Tonight, brothers and sisters, I wanted to take a moment to begin by sharing with you this really, really beautiful and epic conversation that took place. A conversation that was truly consequential in the history of the early Muslims. The early Muslims who were struggling with persecution and with tyranny. The early Muslims, some of whom had made this migration, as the Prophet ﷺ had instructed them, to go and live in Habasha, where you will find a king who is, who will be fair with you and just with you and will not exercise tyranny over you, right? And so a group of Muslims go, a large number actually, and while they're there, there is this group from the Quraysh that come to try and take them back from the king because they have, connections with the king, whose name is An-Najashi, radiyallahu anhu, who eventually we know became a companion, or I guess technically a tabi'i of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So An-Najashi is the king there, and so they go to try and convince An-Najashi to give these Muslims up, so that, let us take them back and take them off your hands. They're just causing trouble in Mecca, and they'll probably cause trouble here for you too, right? So in this moment, one of the leaders of the group, companion by the name of Ja'far ibn Abi Talib, radiyallahu an, the cousin of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the elder brother of Ali ibn Abi Talib, he speaks up, right? He speaks on behalf of the Muslims, and he says these things that truly these words should be written in gold. These words should be inscribed in beautiful gold and silver and decorated and posted on our walls. Really, the power of this conversation and this statement. So let me just share with you part of that statement of his. And he says, أيها الملك كنا قوما أهل جاهلية نعبد الأصنام التي نصنعها بأيدينا من الحجارة والخشب نأكل الميتة ونأتي الفواحش ونقطع الأرحام ونسيء الجوار ويأكل القوي منا الضعيف حتى بعث الله إلينا رسولا منا نعرف صدقه وحسبه وأمانته فأمرنا أن نعبد الله ولا نشرك به شيئا وأمرنا بصدق الحديث وبالصلاة وأداء الأمانة وصلة الرحم وحسن الجوار. Subhanallah. He continues, actually, it goes longer, but I just wanted to share this main portion with you. He says in translation, O king, calling to An-Najashi, we were a people who lived in ignorance. We worshipped idols that we had fashioned with our own hands, from stone and from wood. We ate from the carcasses, and we engaged in lewd behavior, and we severed the ties of kinship. We neglected our neighbors in our community, and the strong among us used to consume from the weak. All of this until God rose from among us a messenger. And we knew him by his honesty and his accountability and his trustworthiness. And he instructs us to worship God and associate no partners with him. And he instructs us to be honest in our words and to worship and to fulfill our trusts and to keep the bonds of kinship and to be good to our neighbors. Subhanallah, just powerful, beautiful words from Ja'far ibn Abi Talib describing the Prophet ﷺ and describing Islam. Now, in this description that he gives, this is a perspective that Ja'far radiallahu anh, he shares with An-Najashi, and this perspective changes the heart of An-Najashi, right? It opens his heart and softens his heart, right? And so we really should look at the way that he explains Islam and he explains the Prophet ﷺ. And the key part that I'm so interested in here is the way he describes Rasulullah. He says, right? He says, نَعْرِفُ صِدْقَهُ. We knew him by his honesty. And he says later on, وَأُمِرْنَا بِصِدْقِ الْحَدِيثِ. He instructs us to be truthful in our words. He instructs us to be honest in our words. Rasulullah is truthful and he commands truthfulness. Brothers and sisters, if our relationship with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is built upon and depends upon Tawheed, this understanding of the oneness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and then our relationship with people, with those around us, it hinges upon sidq, upon honesty and trustworthiness. It hinges upon truth. And shirk would destroy our relationship with Allah, and lying could destroy our relationship with the creation, with our fellow mankind, and with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And let me explain to you how. You see, tonight's message is to those of us who do not always verify the truth of what we say. Tonight's message is to those of us who allow ourselves to share inaccurate information, to become a channel by which falsehood would spread from one place to another. Tonight's message is to those who may tell a little fib to gain some benefit, to those who might lie to get out of a sticky situation, to those who would not consider themselves to be bad people, but on a regular basis they betray the truth, and so easily they pile up lies without realizing what they have done. Tonight's message comes to us from the ayah in the Quran in Surah Ghafir, ayah number 28. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَقَالَ رَجُلٌ مُؤْمِنٌ مِّنْ آلِ فِرْعَوْنَ يَكْتُمُ إِيمَانَهُ أَتَقْتُلُونَ رَجُلًا أَن يَقُولَ رَبِّيَ اللَّهُ وَقَدْ جَاءَكُم بِالْبَيِّنَاتِ مِنْ رَبِّكُمْ وَإِن يَكُ كَاذِبًا فَعَلَيْهِ كَذِبُهُ وَإِن يَكُ صَادِقًا يُصِبْكُم بَعْضُ الَّذِي يَعِدُكُمْ إِنَّ اللَّهَ لَا يَهْدِي مَنْ هُوَ مُسْرِفٌ كَذَّابٌ. In translation, a believing man from the family or the crowd of Pharaoh who concealed his faith, he said, would you kill a man merely because he says, my Lord is Allah, while he brings to you some proofs of your Lord? And if he is lying, then the consequence of his lie will be upon him. But if he tells the truth, then there will strike you some of what he promises. Indeed, Allah does not guide one who is excessive and a liar. A couple of points here. Number one, this is a side story from the story of Musa alayhi salam. I don't have time to get into it, but this is just one individual who was in the palace of Fir'aun, hiding his faith. He believed in the word of Musa alayhi salam. And he makes this statement. He makes this really interesting point to Pharaoh. He says that, the one who lies is going to suffer the consequences of his lies one way or another. And the one who challenges the truth will also suffer consequences of his own. But here's the part of the ayah that really, really strikes me, really perks my ears up and scares me even, brothers and sisters, is when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says at the end, indeed, God does not guide the one who wastes himself in lying. Musrifun kadhab. God does not guide the one who is excessive and a liar. My brothers and sisters, what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says is lost is hidayah. Hidayah, brothers and sisters, that which we are so actively and regularly seeking. You see, if hidayah is the cellular signal that connects us to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, lying is what starts to block that signal until eventually we become disconnected from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Imagine how panicked we get or how upset we get when we lose signal on our phones. What if we had the same kind of panic when we lied or when we thought we were going to lie, disconnecting ourselves from the hidayah of Allah? If hidayah is the eyesight for our souls, then lying is what blocks our vision. It blinds us eventually. How panicked would we be if we were blinded? Hidayah, when it is lost, our souls are blinded. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect us and forgive us. Allahumma ameen. Tonight's message is this: the liar becomes a loose cannon, firing in every direction and bringing harm to all that are around. Consider the devastation of lying, brothers and sisters. The scholars, many of them consider lying to be from the major sins, al-kaba'ir. Kaba'ir, including like major sins like zina and murder. The scholars consider lying to be part of that. And in the hadith, the Prophet ﷺ demonstrates how serious this is when he says, من علامات المنافق ثلاثة إذا حدث كذب وإذا وعد أخلف وإذا اؤتمن خان. The signs of the hypocrite are three, he says, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. When he speaks, he lies. These are the signs of the hypocrite. When he speaks, he lies. When he makes a promise, he breaks it. And when he is trusted, he betrays that trust. You see, if you think about it, all three of these signs, they are all signs and they're all variations of a lie. They're all versions of dishonesty. Lying is like a poison that spreads. It starts in one action, but it spreads itself to other actions and other behaviors and other aspects of our lives. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala warns us in Surah An-Nisa, إِنَّ الْمُنَافِقِينَ فِي الدَّرْكِ الْأَسْفَلِ مِنَ النَّارِ وَلَن تَجِدَ لَهُمْ نَصِيرًا. Indeed, the hypocrites will be in the lowest depths of the fire, and never will you find for them a helper. Right? Because remember, hypocrisy is so built upon lying. But the second part of this ayah is what really gets me. وَلَن تَجِدَ لَهُمْ نَصِيرًا. You think about it, why do people lie? People lie because they think that the lie will become their helper. They think that the lie that they weave will become their source of support and strength. Now imagine the choice that they are making between this lie that they weave and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, al-haq, the truth. We choose Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for our support, or we choose a lie for our support. And if we choose a lie, we will not find the support of Allah, the only support we would ever truly need. Why is lying so serious? Lying is not just a problem of akhlaq. It's not just a problem of manners. Lying is a problem that goes far deeper. Many people will say, well, it's just bad manners. It's just rude. It's just inappropriate. That's what lying is. Lying goes deeper, brothers and sisters. Today, I claim to you that lying is a problem with one's aqidah. It is a problem. It reveals a problem with one's aqidah, one's faith, one's creed that we say that we believe. You see, people lie for one of two reasons at the end of the day. It's one of two reasons that people, purposefully, intentionally weave lies. The first of them is jalbu manfa'a. It is to gain benefit. Jalbu manfa'a. And the second reason is like the opposite, man'u madarra, is to avoid harm. These are the two main reasons why people tell lies. Jalbu manfa'a wa man'u madarra. Now, the word manfa'a comes from the root nafa'a. And the word nafa'a is related to the name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, an-nafi', the one who brings benefit, the one who favors. And the word madarra, right, from man'u madarra, is related to the word darara, which is related to the name of Allah, ad-dar, the one who brings harm. So remember, who is an-nafi' and who is ad-dar? It is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And when we lose sight of that Allah brings benefit and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala brings or prevents harm, that's when we reveal the weakness of faith. That we think that we might have some control over that we might play the role of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Na'udhu billah. We would never ever say such a thing out loud. When we lie, we reveal that thought in our hearts. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran, قُلْ لَا أَمْلِكُ لِنَفْسِي نَفْعًا وَلَا ضَرًّا إِلَّا مَا شَاءَ اللَّهُ. Say, I do not hold for myself the power of benefit or harm except what Allah has willed. Surah Al-A'raf, right? You see, it is up to Allah, benefit or harm. So why do we lie then? Why do we lie? We lie about the price of clothing. We increase the price when we tell people because we want them to praise us, or we decrease the price and we lie because we don't want people to have hasad, we want to avoid the evil eye. We lie about the quality of an item because we want to sell it, right? An item or something big like a house. We lie about the qualities of it. We make a bigger profit perhaps, but we lose the barakah. What's the point? What's the point of making money if there's no barakah in that money? We lie sometimes because we want to get a laugh, because we're playing a prank. My brothers and sisters, listen to what the Prophet ﷺ says in the hadith. He says, وَيْلٌ لِلَّذِي يُحَدِّثُ فَيَكْذِبُ لِيَضْحَكَ بِهِ الْقَوْمِ. Woe to him who lies in his speech in order to make people laugh. We want to laugh, we want to have a good time, but we don't need to lie to do it. We don't need to trick people to do it, right? Sometimes people lie about the news, right? They exaggerate it. Sometimes they want to, start spreading rumors. Sometimes they just want to spice things up, right? The Prophet ﷺ says in another hadith, كَفَى بِالْمَرْءِ كَذِبًا أَن يُحَدِّثَ بِكُلِّ مَا سَمِعَ. It is enough of a lie for an individual to relate everything he says. If you just hear something and you repeat it, that is enough of a lie according to the Prophet ﷺ, because you did not test and check the veracity of that statement. And he says in another hadith, بِئْسَ مَطِيَّةُ الرَّجُلِ زَعَمُوا. The worst mount, the worst thing you could ride is to say they said or they asserted, right? Just to say, oh, they said this, he said that, she said that, so it must be true. To assert it because other people asserted it without verifying its claims to fact. My brothers and sisters, consider the consequences of when we lie. Consider the consequences, and they are so sad. Number one, when we lie, it strips away our dignity. It strips us of our dignity, because when people realize that we tell lies, they would not take us seriously. They would not take our testimony. They would not rely upon us when it counts. And all of us want to be reliable. We want to be relied upon when it counts, right? When we lie, it strips us of our dignity. Number two, when we lie, it destroys our confidence. And this is really one of the saddest consequences. It destroys our confidence because when you have to lie about yourself, essentially what you're accepting inside your own heart is that your qualities are not enough, that your talent is not enough, that your effort cannot be enough. You're accepting that you personally are not enough, and that's not okay. That's not okay, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows you to be enough for your circumstances. He puts you in those circumstances. You don't need to lie to be enough. Number three, when we lie, when we allow ourselves to utter falsehood, it repels away from us the presence of the righteous. Aisha radiallahu anha, she explains that the Prophet ﷺ, when he realized that somebody nearby him was telling a lie, he would become so uneasy, almost like he was itchy. He was just uncomfortable until he knew that that person had repented from their lie. That's how the Prophet ﷺ was around people who he knew lied. And in the ayah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala instructs us, يَا أَيُّهَا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا اتَّقُوا اللَّهَ وَكُونُوا مَعَ الصَّادِقِينَ. O you who believe, fear Allah and be with those who are truthful. Be with those who are true. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is instructing us to avoid the company of those who lie and spend time with those who tell the truth. Right? You might lose the company of those who are righteous people because you continue to utter lies. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect us and purify our tongues. And number four, when we lie, it creates for us a double life. Because one lie needs another lie to support it. And that lie needs two more lies for its support. And eventually we weave a web of lies. And look at how the Prophet ﷺ explains and describes this web of lies. He says in the hadith, وَإِيَّاكُمْ وَالْكَذِبِ فَإِنَّ الْكَذِبَ يَهْدِي إِلَى الْفُجُورِ. وإن الفجور يهدي إلى النار وما يزال العبد يكذب ويتحرى الكذب حتى يكتب عند الله كذابا. Astaghfirullah. Refrain from falsehood, he says, sallallahu alayhi wasallam. For indeed falsehood leads to wickedness, and wickedness leads to fire. And a servant of Allah continues to lie and tries harder to lie more until he is recorded with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala as a liar. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect us from such a fate and forgive the lies that we may have told in the past and make us a people who are truthful always and forever, sticking with the truth. My brothers and sisters, tonight's message, a reminder, is this. Liars are loose cannons, my friends. Liars are loose cannons, and every lie sends destruction in another random direction. And before you know it, the small lies, they add up and they become a world of devastation around us. So tonight and every night, choose the truth instead. Be truthful in all situations so that you would achieve the special status the scholars call maqam as-siddiqiyya, the station of truthfulness, which is second only to the station of prophethood. I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make us a truthful people. I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give us the bravery and the courage to abandon all lies. I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to cleanse our tongues and to help us to always be people who speak the truth, who promote the truth, who champion the truth, and save ourselves from lies. Allahumma ameen. My dear brothers and sisters, I have some announcements for you. I always remind you to please stay during those announcements so that we can give you the updates. Alhamdulillah, some important updates for all of you. So let me begin with that. MashaAllah, we have currently raised $439,000. And that's, we're coming up on the last few days of Ramadan. And so we're very close to our goal of 500,000. And as Imam Aziz mentioned yesterday, we had this very generous family come forward and they made us a deal. They said in the last 5 nights, which is, now onwards, any dollar that is raised, not pledged, but contributed directly, either through a credit card or cash or a check, any dollar that is contributed, they will match dollar for dollar. So this will really help us to speed up the process and get to the goal. But this means the rest of us need to, step up a little bit and contribute. Now, for those of you who have not contributed that, you've been hesitating, you've been wondering, you've been maybe looking for Laylatul Qadr, now is the time, brothers and sisters, go ahead and make that contribution. For those of you who have contributed, which is so many of you, Jazakallah khair, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept it and consider giving again so that we might, double and triple the reward as well as the impact. So, just a reminder to all of you. And also, please remember to share this request with others as well. Many people benefit from the services of the staff and the team. We ask that you just help us to make this an ongoing effort through your contributions in this month. Also, an important announcement about Laylatul Qadr. We have the program that is tomorrow for the whole community. It starts at 9 p.m. There's a session at 9. There's a session at 12 o'clock midnight, and then there's a session at 2. The khatir is at 9. The communal dua is at 12. So what I want to ask you guys for that, there's going to be a link that is shared. Please go ahead and submit your dua requests. We would like to make dua for the entire community collectively. Duas that you have already submitted, duas that you have been holding in your heart. We'll keep most of these anonymous unless it is specifically mentioned not to make it anonymous. But please go ahead and share your dua requests. In that, it's just been shared right there. The link. You can sign up and share your dua request and join us. And then, of course, at 2:30 a.m. we will have dua al-qunut, which will be really special. We'll be able to make dua together. In the chance that it might be Laylatul Qadr. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala allow us to see and witness Laylatul Qadr. Also, a reminder that we have a very special program planned for Eid. We're having a special drive-through Eid celebration at our new Foothills location. It's 100% safe. Nobody's getting out of their cars. Nobody's doing anything, physical contact. You're just going to drive through. You're going to tune into the FM station and hear the takbirat. You're going to, see all of the staff members, get a goodie bag. have a chance to pay your zakatul fitr. Remember, by the way, it's really important actually for you to pay your zakatul fitr before Eid, right? In fact, you should be doing this in the month of Ramadan, maybe even early on. If you haven't done that yet, please do that now. You can do that at any of the links that are provided for zakah. And of course, you can pay your zakatul mal as well. And of course, what we're asking everyone to do is to, on the day of Eid, you're going to pray Eid at home, and your zakah needs to be paid before then. So you're going to pray Eid at home, and then you're going to you get in your cars, which I think are going to be decorated, right? Everyone's going to decorate their cars and deck them out and make them all fancy. I'm planning to, with the family, decorate mine as well. And you're going to come to the drive-through and celebrate with us, inshallah. And then I have some announcements for all of you. Just a couple of dua requests, actually. The first of them, this was mentioned yesterday as well. My wife's uncle, he's the father of a few community members here in the Sacramento area, but also around other states. His name, his brother Saleh, brother Saleh Safi, my wife's uncle, who had been struggling with COVID-19 for a few weeks now. Unfortunately, the doctors and the family decided that they should take him off of the ventilator, and that was the best thing to do. And just a few hours ago, actually, he did pass away. So I'm asking all of you, on behalf of my family and my loved ones, to please keep him in your dua. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give him a high station in his Jannah, a wide open garden. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make his process into Jannah a quick and speedy one, an easy one. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give peace and tranquility to his children, to his loved ones who he has left behind, many of whom have taken this hard. But as is the will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, so please keep him and please keep the family in your dua. Death comes when it is written for us, and in Ramadan would be one of the best times. MashaAllah, he raised a beautiful family. He was a pious individual, and he departs in the month of Ramadan. So please do keep him in your du'as. And also some other sad news that I was recently informed of. Sad, but still we have hope. Brother Ahmed Zariq had recently been diagnosed with stage 2 brain cancer. He has 3 young children. All of them, they have their own health conditions. So he's been diagnosed with brain cancer very recently. We're asking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala collectively to give him healing, to eradicate his body of this cancer, to prevent it from spreading, and to keep him safe and sound with his family, his loved ones, so that he is able to serve them and provide for them and protect them. Allahumma ameen. And finally, another dua request coming from a sister. She asked to remain anonymous, a sister who is very close and dear to me personally and to my friends and family, who, she's recently married, young. She used to be very involved, but recently has been struggling with a few health conditions. The first is PNES, which it's like a pseudo seizure condition, and also panic disorder. Her health has really deteriorated over the last few weeks and months. And she's just asking everyone to make dua that she can try to get her life back on track. Asking for all of your du'as. Like I said, a young, really, really amazing, wonderful sister that is dear to all of us. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give her healing from this ailment as well. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to help her to get her life on track and to take control of her life, and for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to take control of her life and give her ease and comfort. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to remove these conditions from her, so that she would live with her loved ones happily and be successful and be able to achieve and to contribute and to volunteer as she so often did, and inshallah will often do. Allahumma ameen. Jazakallah khair, brothers and sisters, for tuning in. I'll remind you once again to please do contribute to our campaign. We're so close to the finish line. Help us to cross that finish line. It'd be better the earlier we crossed it, and it's up to you all to contribute and to share with others. Jazakallah khair. You'll find the links, and hopefully we'll see you on the day of Eid. I'm really looking forward to seeing each and every one of you. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.